So in this video, we'll continue talking about some of the things we talked about last time, but what we can do to quickly customize some of them. So I have my desktop open here, and at the bottom you can see the dock. The dock's the first thing we will discuss. So this area here, these are mostly applications that Apple thought would probably be useful for most users. Yours might look a little different as I've already played with mine a little bit. Next to that, these are applications that my operating system has noticed I use often, and so they're here as little shortcuts for me. Here's another shortcut, and then these over here are application windows that I've minimized. So like we have the Mojave web page here in Safari that we looked at last time. So if I minimize it, it just jumps it back down here into the dock. I also have my About This Mac window from last time too that I minimized. If I go ahead and close it, it will disappear, but it's not going to hop back down here, right? So these are minimized, not closed. When I close it, it disappears altogether, right? It's not back down here. I'd have to go back up to the Apple and do About This Mac to bring it back. So what can I do with this down here? I can customize it some. Some of the applications that Apple thinks is useful for most people isn't necessarily useful for me. So of these, the ones that I use, I don't really use Siri. I don't really use Photos or FaceTime or Maps. I typically access Maps online. I typically use like Photoshop or something else as my photo editor, and I don't use Siri at all. So how do we get rid of these? If we click and hold down, we do get some menu options, right? And these menu options differ from one application to another. If I click and hold on Siri, I do get the option to remove from dock, but we didn't see that in the others. Sort of the universal way to remove these from the dock is just to drag them way off. Oops, I don't want to, well, that's okay. I'll accidentally remove Google Chrome as well, and we'll just remove all of the ones that I don't really find very useful, in my opinion. Now I don't have much down here, and like I said, I accidentally removed Google Chrome, so how can we put them back? If we click our little Launchpad here, we can drag things back in. Now, what if you don't have the Launchpad? I have seen some machines that don't have the Launchpad here. So how do we get this back on there to actually be able to click on it? In addition to clicking the Launchpad, we can access those same things through our Finder. So if I click Finder, it's going to bring up a window. Now, whatever window it brings up for you, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to stay here. So these are some of my recent files, and that's not really important. Instead, the important thing is applications right here. I'm going to click on that, and then here, yours might be somewhere else, but you're looking for this Launchpad icon, right? This little Launchpad rocket. So if you're missing it from here, you can just drag it onto there. Now, if you already had it here, cool. With this open, we can do two different things. We can either drag applications from here, like Chrome, into my dock, or, as I said earlier, we can drag things from the Launchpad to my dock. Either way is fine, doesn't really matter. So I use Chrome quite a bit. I use Pages quite a bit. Later on in the year, I'll be using Scratch quite a bit. I haven't reinstalled Adobe yet, but once I do, Photoshop will go in here as well. I think that's... Alright, in addition to customizing this, we can also customize this too. So right now, these are kind of all over the place. There's not really any organization. I like to have mine a little organized, so maybe Safari and Chrome should go together. I like to have Pages, Keynote, and Numbers together because those are sort of the iWork programs. Let's see, iTunes and the App Store, those to me go together pretty well. I'm going to put Notes down here because it's a writing application. I'm going to switch the order of that so the two writing applications are together. Anything else that I want to mess with? I'm going to put System Preferences way at the top, right? That makes sense to me. Those seem sort of logical. Maybe Home should go up here too. And Voice Memos. I'm not sure how Siri got in front of Safari, but we'll fix that. And yeah, something sort of like that. I think Messages should go with FaceTime. Those things seem to go together to me. I don't want Photos and Preview being separated. I don't want Chrome and Safari being separated, so I need to push something else up sort of here-ish. Maybe books. Books can go... I don't know where I want to put books. I guess that will do. Photos and preview together. Safari and... Oh, Safari and Chrome aren't together yet. I guess I can put Siri up here. And so those two are together. So that's okay. Oh, this got separated. Maybe other should go down there. Put this back there. Yeah, something like that. It's not perfect, but I think it will work for now. Once I install Adobe, I'll have a whole new batch of programs that I'll want to rearrange how they go in here, whatever feels right to me. And as I work on this computer, I might decide I don't like some of the placement of these, and I can change them later, right? So this is fine for now. Now notice when I put Pages down here in the dock as a shortcut, it removed it from sort of my frequently used apps, right? Because there's no reason to really have it twice, and that's normal. Here I have Downloads, but another common shortcut down here is Documents, and that can be useful too. So like if I click Downloads, this shows me basically the folder itself. If I want to add documents on there, that's fine. I can basically open my Finder window again by clicking here, or I can click here. If I click here, this will take me to the Download section of my Finder, where I have basically all of my different files that I've downloaded from Safari or Chrome or Firefox or wherever. The important part is this over here on the left, right? Now, if you don't see this, you might have to open it, do View, and we can say Show Sidebar. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. So from here, if I want to add my documents down here, I just take this and I drag it down there. So now I've got Documents and Downloads. So that's just about customizing the dock, and that puts us at quite a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and stop, and we'll start up with the next one with a little bit more of what we can do on the desktop itself.